honestly, this is an adaptation that I never saw it coming. I didn't even know they were making an adaptation to Winx. And somehow I wish I didn't know that they made one, because oh dear. For all of you guys that are living under a rock and that don't know what just happened, you all know that fairy cartoons that we all loved as a child. I watched it when I was a kid, obviously, and I didn't even know it was that popular. Like I don't know, I never really talked about it with my friends. I didn't have friends. Netflix just released a adaptation to Winx Club, and I'm here to talk about it because there's so much to talk about, and I have so much to say, and people have so much to say. So let's just keep this short and begin this video. I feel obligated to warn you that there are spoilers, so if you haven't seen Fate the Winx Saga, go and watch it and then come back to this video. Subscribe to my channel and follow me on my social media if you want to see more from me. And let's just begin this video. Fate the Winx Saga, it's a live-action teen drama adaptation of the Winx Club series, cartoon show, following the coming-of-age journey of 5 fairies attending Althea, a magical boarding school where they learn to master and control their magical powers while dealing with love, rivalry, and lust. Main focus is in Bloom, who is trying to adjust to her new life in the other world, learning to control and master her dangerous magic powers while also figuring out things about her past. So that being said, it seems very similar to the original series, right? Except that there's 5 instead of 6 fairies. But unfortunately, this has similarities between these two are gonna go for. I think I'll start with the characters first because there's so much to say about each single one. So she was better in the cartoons. In this version, she reminds me of Clary from the Shadowhunters, Bella from Twilight, Lena from the Vampire Diaries, Tessa from After. What do they all have in common, you may ask? They're all boring. Typical boring main character, not like other girls, minimal makeup, dressed down, always in a ponytail, always doing what she wants no matter the cost. And I don't like her. I don't understand why this is such a common trope on TV shows, on teen drama, that they make their main character the one that we have to see through the entire series, the one that plot is driven by. Boring. Why do you have to make your main character so boring? And she is not boring in the cartoons. She was not my favorite character, but why do you have to make... What the hell happened to her? Too self-centered and insecure compared to the cartoons. I wish they would have gone more into her background story. They made her a crazy, rich, princess, jealous, insecure girl. I mean, she was like that in the cartoons, but it was subtle and way more likable. She's supposed to be Bloom's best friend, at least she was in the cartoon. She was her first friend, and she is the one Bloom is the closest to. But here she's just a bitch. There's almost no redeeming qualities about her. She's my favorite character, and I'm pretty sure I have a crush on her. When I watched the cartoons, I had a crush on Flora and Musa and Tecna. But it was mainly Flora and Musa. Yeah, she was one of my favorite characters, and I still liked her in Fate. However, she is different. She has a different power. Everybody have the same power, I believe, except for Musa. I think she's the only one that they changed. Her power was music, I believe, in the cartoons. And here her power is the mind. She's supposed to be like an empath and feel people's emotions and feelings. And I still liked it. I just wish they would have gone more like the original. But she wasn't that bad. She's the one that I least have problem with, to be honest. Aisha, I don't know. I know her as Lila, because that's how it was in Latin America. They made her so two-dimensional. They tried to make her as like the mom of the group, the one that doesn't break the rules. In the cartoons, I remember that she was kind of like the more independent one. Like, she was the one that I kind of look up to. Like, oh, I want to be like her when I grew up, because she was just vibing, you know, doing her own thing. I feel like what happens here is that since she's black, they didn't bother to give her backstory because they already have the diversity point. What I mean by this is that most shows and movies, but mainly shows, they add non-white characters, POC characters, just for the sake of the diversity card, and they don't really bother to give them much background story or character arcs and character development, or just writing a good character. They just care about having the character, you know? Do you know what I'm trying to say? I don't know. I'm horrible at explaining, and yeah, it's basically, you know, fake and diversity performative. That's what they're doing. Fake wokeness, if you may. Let's talk about Terra. So hold your horses, because I'm about to rant. So I don't really have a problem with Terra. I personally find her a bit unlikable, but that's probably just me, because I get put off by highly bubbly people. In fact, my problem is that they decided to create a whole new character to replace Flora and Tecna, who happen to be two of my favorite characters, so obviously I'm not happy about that decision. The thing I don't understand is why they did it, why they thought that it was a better choice to create a whole new character rather than keeping the original character. Because I don't think she added anything to the show except for being annoying. Like, what were they trying to do? Be more inclusive? Because I feel like that's the opposite of what they're doing, since Flora is a dark-skinned Latina, so you're taking away diversity and adding a white girl. And it's also not because they didn't find Flora and Tecna interesting enough, since Terra has the same powers as Flora. And Beatrix, she's so hot, and honestly, the only good thing about the show, she can step on me, she can do whatever she wants, and she's so fucking gorgeous. When doing reboots and adaptations, it's always a very tricky situation, especially when it's a beloved subject. There's a lot of pressure in making it right, and most times it's a failure, since it rarely reaches the standards of the fans of said subject. And when it comes to changes, they're almost never welcome unless they actually add something to the story. They change many things, such as characters like Flora and Tecna and Beatrix minions, as I stated before. When I say Beatrix minions, I mean Darcy and the other two. I, for some reason, thought that Beatrix was Darcy, or at least one of them, when she's not. Obviously, I don't have a great memory, and obviously, I'm not good with names, so yeah, let's just forget that glitch. The main plot is still the same. I don't think it really changed that much, but I also don't really remember the cartoons. But there's many things that they changed, like in the cartoons, Riven is Musa's boyfriend. However, in Fate, he is just a problematic kid who hangs out with Beatrix and Day, and Musa is dating Sam, another character that they introduced to the show. There's also a little bit of controversy between them. I didn't even remember that Riven was Musa's boyfriend. I was on YouTube seeing edits of Musa and Sam because I personally really liked them. And everybody's saying like, no, she's supposed to be with Riven, so yeah. Also, a lot of people were saying that they were toxic, others saying that they were not. I don't understand. I don't really remember. But I'm happy with Musa and Sam. If the writers plan on making Musa and Riven to be together at some point in the future, I hope that they make it to make sense. I hope it makes sense and they don't do it just because that's what the fans want. There's also no colorful and bright costumes. Personally, that's not a problem for me, but I know that for a lot of people it is a problem because, you know, the show is supposed to be bright and colorful. And like I said before, they also changed Musa's power. It was supposed in the cartoon it was music, and here it's mind, which is still a cool power, but it's, you know, not the original. So around the time the trailer came out, fans were already criticizing it for many reasons. First main criticism that we had is whitewashing of characters of color. Flora is supposed to be a dark-skinned Latina, and Musa is supposed to be East Asian, and again, like I said before, Flora was replaced by Terra, and both Terra and Musa are portrayed by a white actress. I find this really funny because they were aiming for diversity, but they did the opposite of that. I feel like many shows, like, they think that diversity is just black and white, having black characters and white characters, but that's not what it is. But diversity is having Latinos, Asians, native from any country, and just, it's not just black and white. Big issue that not many people talk about. A lot of people only focus on black characters, which is still, you know, it is still a problem. Like, I still want more visibility for black characters, but it kind of sucks because most shows, this diversity has adding more black characters instead of creating characters or adding more characters of different ethnicities and races. I feel like what they wanted to do was to add a plus size character. They wanted to make one of the fairies plus size, and I feel like they could have done that perfectly without having to add a new character. I mean, they're fairies, they don't have to be skinny, and I would have liked it better if they would have made one of the, or a few of the fairies not skinny, you know? My problem with Terra replacing Flora is, you know, we don't really see representation of POC characters. And when we do see representation, it's almost always the diversity element of almost every show is adding a black character. So when we have a Latino, a dark-skinned Latina, which we don't tend to see, it's kind of frustrating for me as a Latina that they decided to remove her. Regardless of her being my favorite character, she was still a representation for, you know, for me. And the fact that they decided to remove her and replace her with a white girl, it's annoying. Thank you for coming to my tech talk. Being too dark compared to original Winx Club, and abandoning the original series' colorful and brighter elements. I personally didn't think the show was that dark. It is aimed for young adults, so it's obviously gonna be slightly darker than the cartoons that was directed for kids, but I definitely didn't think it was that dark, but other people disagree. So they try and fail to handle way too many issues that weren't even part of the OG in the first place, like racism, sexism, mansplaining, and even forgot the main core of the show, which is the friendship between them. I think it was a comment of someone's video, or maybe it was a tweet or a comment on an Instagram post, I don't remember, but someone said about the lack of real friendship in Hollywood, in TV shows, or there's no real representation on TV about real friendships, friends that don't stab each other in the back, friends that actually care for each other. Winx Club, Washing Fate, it's like there were no friendship at all. It's like they were just, you know, in the show they were just roommates that had to deal with Bloom's shit. Do you see what I'm trying to get at? I personally liked it, surprisingly enough, since I'm not a big fan of spin-offs and adaptations, reboots, or anything like that. The special effects were great, and I kind of loved the soundtrack. However, since I'm a big fan of the original, even though I don't remember it, I can't help but feel disappointed by the problems that I said before, especially when the fact that Flora is not there. I just want to talk to whoever made the decision to not include Flora in the show. Part of me is happy that she's not there because this is not a fair representation of what Winx Club is. But I'm still, you know, did we need this reboot / adaptation? No. Is it faithful to the cartoons? Hell no. Did I still enjoy it as a separate show from the cartoons? Yes. If I think about it as being an reboot from Winx Club, obviously I hate it. I was still entertained when I watched it. Every time that I was reminded that it was a reboot from Winx Club, I got angry and I hated it. But just as a separate show, I don't think it was that bad. Like, if we had way worse adaptations, so this one is kind of okay for me. Like, I want to give it the benefit of the doubt. I want the show to have a second season, and I want to see them trying to fix all these issues, or at least most of them. I'm gonna leave this video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed, and leave your thoughts and opinions on the comment section below. Let me know if you enjoyed it. Tell me who was your favorite fairy, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.